By the time the mass was over, the president was already in Nyeri. Okay? So I could not leave the mass halfway and go to Nyeri. So I decided now that the president is already in Nyeri. Even if I left Kirinyaga and tried to fly to Nyeri, I'll find he's leaving. So it will not make sense. So I decided to stay in Kirinyaga and represent him. By the way, he was the chief guest in Kirinyaga, and there was even a plaque. So I sat through, and even the presidential dais was there. I sat there through, you know. But I think some people, some mischievous people in Nyeri who works around the president, put an empty chair, knowing very well I'm in another function, and took photographs just for mischief. You know what happens in the presidency. There's a lot of mischief around.
You say mischief, but that seat was next to the president.
Yeah. It was there, but everybody, my protocol people said I'm in Kirinyaga, so it was unnecessary to put a chair there that is empty when I'm not there. I was in Kirinyaga, and everybody knows I'm in Kirinyaga. So they should have removed the chair or get somebody else who
had you confirmed that you'd be in the Nyeri event?
Yeah.
Had you confirmed that you?
Yes, I had confirmed I'm in Nyeri.
So it is in order for them to put a chair there?
No, but we give information that we cannot make it. The minute the president arrived, before I left Kirinyaga, it was logistically not possible for me to go to Nyeri.
We have information that part of the reason why I didn't go to Nyeri is because you got intel that there are people who had been organized to heckle you.
No, your intel is wrong. Nyeri is my home. Even if there was anything in Nyeri, how can I not go to my home? Nobody, for the avoidance of doubt, can heckle me in Nyeri, in the Mount Kenya region. Nobody.
No,
I attend all functions.
Yep.
I attend all functions, and I don't need to organize anything.
Okay.
So that intel you have is wrong, is mischief. I was in a function in Kirinyaga, and everybody saw me. Your people are there throughout the mass. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why people want to decide for me.
So who represented the message of the president at the Kirinyaga mass?
In terms of?
The president's message.
In terms of what?
His contribution.
There was no Harambe. We did not go for Harambe.
What did the governor of Kirinyaga say?
She said the president has given us some money, which is okay. There's no problem.
Don't you think you should be the person to deliver such a message?
Well, that's the decision of the president. I cannot decide for the president what he wants to do with his money. That is his money. I have no right to ask the president to give me his money to take where he wants to take it. If the president was to send Anwaigoro to a meeting where I am with his money and not send me, that is his decision, and we must respect it.
Does that show a good working relationship between the president and the
I don't know. I don't read much out of it.
You don't?
Because I was not going for Harambe. I had not talked to the president, so he did not send me. I just went for mass, and I was there to receive him. But if he has decided to send somebody else with his money for a function in my presence, that's a decision the president makes.
Okay.
It used to happen all the time during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta. All the time that was happening, William Ruto as deputy president would be there. Somebody else would turn up with condolences and read when he's there. I think these things.
And there was a problem that time.
If I don't know whether President William Ruto had a problem with it, I don't have a problem.
He made it clear that there was a problem.
If he had a problem with it,
you actually spoke about it yourself.
I don't have a problem with it myself.
You don't have a problem with it. Okay, but you've also been missing in several functions, including even receiving the president as he came back from Germany. You have always gone to the airport to receive him. This time around, we didn't see you. We saw the Interior Cabinet Secretary.
What has happened, Sam, is that I always align my diary with that of the president all the time. And as long as I am aware of these functions, I align accordingly. So sometimes, if I'm not aware, I'm not able to align because I also have my own program.
What does that mean? You were not aware he's coming back?
I was not aware of the time. Okay, so what has happened is that I think 2 days, I think about a week ago.
Okay.
I think about a week ago, we have a diary for the president where I am there, my private secretary is there, my chief of staff is there, and all his issues are there. So we align. I think about a week ago, we were removed from that diary, So we are not able to follow exactly what is going on. So we are not able to align. But when we are informed of what is happening, like yesterday when I was I went to Lamu.
Yeah.
For the funeral of the deputy governor of Lamu,
yep.
Who is a good friend of mine, and I am also in charge of intergovernmental.
All right. Okay. Enough of that crap. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well. This is Kenyan Revolutionary coming to you for this Friday. Politics, all matters politics, or should I say politics in Kenya? Karibu Gypsy, I see you. You're saying very cunning Gachagua looks a bit like Moi, but a story for another day. Yeah, there's rumors that he's actually the son of Moi, one that Moi had and nobody knew about, the secret son of Moi. There's rumors about that. But, like you said, that's a story for another day. They really look alike. Even his bottom teeth is kind of, the DNA in a five anyway. But anyway, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this whole Gachagua versus Ruto saga. I think it's fabricated. It's fake. I mean, where did this come from? Like, all of us having these guys at Lewani, whatever the case, and the whole mimi mtu amount mlima. It's old. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Okay, you like Mount Kenya? Who gives a Let me not cuss, but yeah, it's just tired. I'm sorry, but anyway, to more concerning, pressing issues that is affecting our country. The one that was a really bizarre case was Mr. Is it Masengeli, whatever his name is? Masengeli, we'll get to that. I can see you're dressed up for the occasion. Are you going to preside the do? Huh? Gypsy, help me. Bado sielewi. Can you help me, tafadhali? Yeah, like I was, while we wait for Gypsy to kind of elucidate on what he's talking about. Gachagua is also a game player. Yes, he is. Yeah. Earlier today, there was this whole story case regarding Masengeli. Very bizarre to say the least. As you guys remember, for those of you who've been living under, Kip and Tuni. Is it Tuni or Tunei? Let me just, I'm calling it Tuni. Kip and Tuni are supposed to be meeting me here today. I'll be waiting. They should be coming in pretty soon. If they don't show up, that's fine too. But I am really waiting. They promised to be here. Cameras on and everything. We shall have Kip and Tuni. I don't know if it's going to be a Kip versus Captain versus Tuni debate or it's going to be a blind date. We are going to figure that out once they show up. If they show up, I'll put the link once I see them on the chat. And wataingia watueleze ninio. Waeleze kinagaubaga. Yeah. But let me start with this Masengeli story. The reason why I say it's bizarre, it's because Masengeli, as you know, he was summoned by the court. A judge ordered him to show up in court to produce some people who were abducted and no one knew where they're from. But, of course, they were said to have been arrested by the police force. So this fell under Masengeli's responsibility. So the judge summoned him to show up in court and produce and explain to people where those folks who were arrested were. And he did not show up, of course, because he felt he was above the law. Now, he did, instead of showing up in court, he acted, defiantly, ordered the judge who actually, ordered him to show up in court, he withdrew his security, which was another bizarre decision by this guy. I mean, the hubris. But anyway, after that, you know, there was a brouhaha, JSC, everybody else, all the civil servants, everyone, judges, whoever, everyone. There was an uproar about that because this was just not, it was unbecoming. So after that, he restored the security forces. I mean, not security forces, but the security for that particular judge. And then the judge went ahead and sentenced him to 6 months in prison, okay, for that, you know, for failure to showing up. I mean, show up, because, you know, it was obviously he was holding a press conference instead of showing up in court, saying that, you know, he doesn't have to. So yeah. So anyway, so he was supposed to serve his term, start serving his term yesterday or today. And guess what? He showed up in the courts with the freaking Attorney General. What? I kid you not. You can't make this up. This is a movie. Attorney General. And people are asking, is it the responsibility, the role of an Attorney General to personally defend Mr. Masengeli, who at that point is a convicted criminal, because he had been convicted. So they go to court, they sit down, and you know, everyone, you know, Nelson Harvey has his exchange with the AG, and guess what? The judge says, I'm going to give you 7 more days to freaking show up in court. If you do, you don't have to do the 6-month sentence. And by the way, I recuse myself from this case for personal reason. What? So yeah, that's how, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So Gypsy saying they're using all these Masengeli's story is no story. Ruto is behind all these dramas. They are using all tactics so that we can forget about Adani. Right. I'm not buying this BS, but I'm just saying how ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous what these people are doing. I mean, what's going on? So anyway, so everyone was just, you know, asking themselves, how can the AG, who's supposed to be like the lawyer, the top lawyer for the government administration, representing Mr. Masengeli on a personal, you know, Masengeli's personal troubles. This was just more than bizarre. And that's why people were kind of asking themselves what's going on. Let me see. 116, 234. All right. Let me get to some tweets here so we can get on. Unless you guys want me to talk about Gachagua, which he's nauseating. I'm sorry. I can't do Gachagua. Gachagua makes me sick to the stomach. Labani Misiani is here. Karibu Labani. Labani is saying Masengeli was not acting for himself. It was about the government. So the Attorney General was to represent the government and make sure it succeed. Actually, no. No. That's wrong. Hey, good afternoon, Clean Black Sneakers. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. The Attorney General, listen, Mr. What's his name? Masengeli. Masengeli broke the law as an individual, because remember, he represented that office that was responsible to explain to the courts where those young men who were arrested were. He failed to do so. His position, he is the person who is supposed to be answerable to those questions. And he personally, as an individual, refused to show up to court. At that moment that he decides not to show up in court, it is him as an individual. He's not representing the government anymore. It is him as an individual who refused to show up to court. So it is a personal issue. Attorney General does represent the government. We shall get to that. Let me go to this tweet so you can explain it further for Laban Misiani so you can get a clear view why it was bizarre for an AG to come and represent this deputy inspector general. That was just wrong in so many levels, okay? This is just, it's actually ridiculous. It's not even just wrong, it's ridiculous. Masengeli story are those dramas which don't make red carpet. So, yeah, here. Let me go here to this tweet. I think Meguna addressed it. Let me just read it for those of you who may let it benefit Kenyans. Let's just learn something out of it very quickly before I go to other issues. Today we are freestyling our way to everything and everything. Okay, everything is everything. As you can see, I hope you guys can see on your screens there. Clear as day or light. Okay, here it is. I want to start with this one right here. Boom. This one is the one that's okay. So Miguna here posted. These questions are to Nelson Harvey and Ochiel JD and Waikwa Wanyoike. I believe all of them are lawyers, including Miguna. Does the Constitution permit the Attorney General to appear in court personally in defense of those the court has found in contempt, like Gilbert Masengeli? What public policy implication does that have on the rule of law, good governance, and the distinctions between the executive arm of government and independent constitutional bodies, if any? Is it an admission by the regime that it is responsible for the abductions and defiance of court orders? What are the strategic implications? That's the question Miguna posed. And I believe Wanyoike somewhere, if I can find it, responded. Crap. Can I get this? Shoot, I can see it. I saw it somewhere. Dang it. Here it is. Here's the response, if you guys can see it. General, this is gross abuse of office and forms grounds of removal for AG. It's preposterous that an AG will spend public resources and goodwill to defend an incorrigible officer who shows no respect for the courts, the Constitution, and has zero disregard for human dignity. So there you get your answer, okay? What? Talk about what? Talk about Miguna laying bare about Conman Morara. In quotes, did he? I haven't seen any. Let me see. Let's go about that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if we can find Mr. What's his face? Did he talk about Morara? Miguna talk about Morara? Oh, here it is, I think. There's one here I found. I don't know if this one is what you're referring to. Check his... I'm looking at one right here. I don't know if this one is the one that you're referring to. Oh, wow, okay. It's quite a lengthy one. Okay, so this is to Morara. I don't know what the previous tweet Morara wrote. I'm unable to see it. I don't know if Morara deleted it, but this is what he said. He was replying to Morara. No, you are wrong on both scores. We cannot uproot an entrenched institutionalized system of impunity through the ballot because the impunity merchants control ID issuance, voters, registration, IBC, security infrastructure, bombers, counting of votes, announcement of results, and parliament. The tested path of removing well-entrenched systems of impunity throughout history is either armed struggle or popular revolution. Both don't take a day, a week, or a month. it takes years for the people to become politically conscious, enraged, organize, and mobilize for either liberation path to succeed. Okay? Temporary setbacks have never defeated the people's popular will and desire to transform their society through a revolution. Throughout history, entrenched systems of impunity have fought against the people's quest for change through disinformation, propaganda, infiltration, bribery, thuggery, and violence. Ruto and his cabal have deployed these strategies and are using them to sabotage the revolution. Giving the examples of today is dishonest because no genuine movement for transformation planned it. Ruto and his infiltrators could have planned an alleged protest so that detractors like you can use it to discourage the people, just like you have done. We also know that Kenyans wanted to protest the disappearance of Njagi and the Aslam brothers and the blatant contempt by Gilbert Masengeli, but Ruto and his cunning criminal released them last night. All genuine patriots and revolutionaries must be honest, truthful, disciplined, focused, and above all, demonstrate a consistent commitment to social justice. Those focused on acquisition of illegitimate wealth, selfish political pursuits, and detractions cannot be part of a revolution movement and are in fact saboteurs. They have existed throughout history. So he was kind of going after him without actually going after him, but he did actually go after him. So so yeah, like I said, I said it yesterday. I think I said it in more than 3 videos. I said Kasmuel, Tarus, Morara, they will not remove Ruto. People and all this civic education and all this stuff, to me, it's hot air. The idea is good. People need to be educated on civics, but this is not the time. Ruto must go, not in 27, now. Not right now, but right about now. So anyone talking about 2027 at his Mwende vote is just talking out of his whatever. Yeah. So no, I'm not. I've said that 1,000 times. If you still think I'm joking, then shauri yako. Anyway, Alfred Mutua, our friend Alfred Alfred Mutua yawa. Hey, karibu sana WS Mbanka. Nice seeing you. Yes. Step away. Yes. Oh, thank you. What TV is that? Pan-African TV? Is it like a YouTube channel, WS Banker? Please tell me about it so I can go there and watch it. I didn't know about it. I don't know about it. But thank you so much, WS Banker. Shout me out. Yeah, tell the people about the good news here that I'm spreading. I'm the lone person. Let me just be quiet. I don't even know what I was saying. But anyway, John Jenga Karugi, a PhD, I think he's based in Germany. He's always tweeting very nice tweets, very balanced, very, fair. He says he was responding to CS Mutua. Mutua is telling us that his target is to export 10,000 Kenyan workers every week to go to Saudi Arabia. You come scare you. Aya. Apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this video. So apparently that was a UDA function. Wow, okay. Dr. Susan Yatta, is a YouTube channel. Okay, I'll check it out. Use Susan Tata. Okay, somebody remind you of that. So Dr. Susan Tata. I'll check it out. Gypsy, what you say? Sorry, Miguna wrote it in his book, Space Channel for Kenyans Through Invite. What did he write? Gypsy, I'm late. What did he write? But yeah, so that was a UDA function that I don't know. What else is happening out there? Okwara was basically highlighting this whole Storia what's her face? Let me see.
The security of the very judge who convicted him. Here is how it unfolded. This week, in the top of command of the Kenya Police, a man convicted by a court of law to serve a jail term of 6 months struck back by withdrawing the security of the very judge who convicted him. Here is how it unfolded. The now convicted, then acting police boss Gilbert Masengeli, the man who failed to honor court summons 7 times, was eventually convicted by Justice Lawrence Mugambi and then sentenced to a 6-month jail term. During the week he was to begin serving his jail term, the same man proceeded to withdraw the security of the very judge who convicted him, claiming he was merely recalling his men for some VIP protection refresher training. How coincidental, though, that the ones protecting Justice Mugambi, who had just convicted Masengeli, needed immediate refresher courses. And also, there was no mention of whether there were others who were reorganized, at least not from the convicted police officer's statement. And with that statement, Mr. Masengeli inked his name in infamy in this country. But we've seen this before. The scenario? Withdraw the security of people who say or do something that makes powerful people in government or authority uncomfortable. Let's go back in time. In 2019, MPs allied to then Deputy President William Ruto had their security withdrawn. Kikuyu Town MP Kimani Ichung'wah confirmed this in an interview here on Citizen TV at the time. He and others, including senators and Governor Waititu, all said they had not received official communication regarding the withdrawal. The police spokesman then said it is part of what he called reorganization of police services personnel. And he also said that it was not targeted at specific individuals. In 2018, the government withdrew the security detail attached to West Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo. Police County Commander Matthew Kuto confirmed that security officers assigned to the governor's official residence in Kapenguria and his Mukurjit home had been recalled. This was after the governor confronted police officers and freed a boda operator who had been arrested by officers. In 2017, security detail attached to then NASA leaders was withdrawn on the eve of their protests against the IEBC. In 2018, Wiper Party leader moved to court after his security was withdrawn on the eve of the controversial swearing-in of Raila Odinga. Lady Justice Rosalind Aburili summoned the CS and the IG to explain why they had not restored his security, despite a court order to do so. Now, one could go even further into the Moi regime, where the security detail of the then Vice President, Dr. Josphat Karanja, was withdrawn as the ground was being prepared to push him out. Folks, let's get back to present-day events, and they do not portray a good sign for the rule of law. We cannot have the heads of 2 important institutions of the justice system seemingly at loggerheads. It does not bode well. If Mr. Masengeli fails to appear before the courts, why should anyone? If Mr. Masengeli is too busy to honor a court summons, why should the police enforce a warrant of arrest against anyone else who may be found in contempt of court? Now, I have been accused in very many quarters of being obsessed with this matter. Yes, I am obsessed. And here is why. When a senior police officer shows utter contempt for the court, what message does that send to those who report to him? And how will they interact with you and I on the streets every day? When the police do not feel obliged to do their work of protecting all Kenyans, including those who have been abducted, we should be very afraid. Let's not forget the reason he was summoned to the courts: to give information of Kenyans who, as of today, have been missing for 1 month. And for those of you who are cheering convicted Deputy IG Masengeli today, what will happen when it is your kin tomorrow who goes missing? Won't you want someone like the courts to stand up for you and ensure the police do the right thing? No one is above the law, not even the convicted Mr. Masengeli. That's my take.
Ooh, okay. No one is above the law, not even Mr. Masengeli. Very, very well put. That's a reminder to anyone and everyone that is who thinks they can break the law and get away with it. You know, that should be shut down. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I just wanted to touch on that among other things as we approach this weekend. Tune in. I'll be back maybe perhaps this evening or maybe tomorrow evening for more. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.